Hey, it's Ethan here with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Isse Classic Snow Socks and how they fit on our 2022 Ford Edge. These are going to be on the front axle as per the owner's manual. Make sure you're double checking that to get them on the right axle for your car. Also, these are going to be on tire size 245, 60, R18. Put that into the fit guide at etrailer.com to make sure you're getting the right size for your vehicle. But basically, these are going to be an alternative to your standard snow tire chains, so there are a lot of pros and cons with using either one of them. But as for these are going to get you decent coverage on ice and snow. They get you traction that you normally can't get because your tires heat up and they create that lubricant that makes you slide on ice and snow. This wicks that water away and creates a little bit more friction between the snow and the snow already on the ground. So it's got a lot of interesting features. Let's check it out. The socks are made of polyolefin. It's going to be, again, that sort of plasticky, moisture wicking type of feeling. So it's going to create that friction, but it's not going to absorb so much water that it gets saturated and starts sliding around. As I mentioned, this is going to be an alternative to your tire chains, so it's also going to be less noisy and less bumpy, but at the same time, it's not going to be as useful for those heavier loads and ice and snow versus, just sort of the light ice and snow that these are used for. Tire chains are going to be for more off-road and heavy-duty applications in worse conditions. As it's designed, the fabric is made to be durable and long-lasting, so if you're worried about it being sort of a lightweight or terrible material, supposedly it will last for a long period of time, but these are kind of new to the scene, so we'll see how that develops. But in general, we do have a pretty good fit. It goes across our tire, covers things really well without being any sort of bulky sort of design, because we do have a little bit of a limited wheel well clearance here, and the Class S compatibility that comes with the snow sock is going to be really useful for not making any sort of contact back here with the struts or the suspension. The socks do come two to a set in this plastic bag here. Honestly, they get really small and condensed when you're not using them, which is another benefit that they have against regular snow tire chains. Because if you want to keep them in your car, you could probably just find a nice easy bag. If you don't want to use this one is fine. It's just if you want to get maybe some sort of cloth bag or somewhere you could store it under your seat, in your glove compartment, in the trunk. These are going to really break down into a small and easy to contain size versus your normal chains. But if you're concerned about the install process, it is super straightforward, but you will have to move your tires forward or backwards a few feet to get the rest of the elastic band around the tire, because we can't get it underneath. So you'll check it out in the install that we did right now. The installation is going to be really straightforward, but keep in mind that we are going to be having to roll the tire forward or backwards to get the rest of the sock on. So everything I'm doing on this side, make sure you're doing on the other side at the same time, just to save yourself some time when you end up rolling forward or backwards to get it on all the way. But basically what we're going to do, make sure that we have it facing the right direction. So with ours, we still have the tag on the inside. So we want to make sure that that is on the inside. You can see it right here. Otherwise, you can tell by the stitching. But for now, we'll just start by draping this elastic band over the top, trying to work our way down. We'll start on this right side here. Just feed that band around the tire as best you can. It's easy if you get your hand in there towards the back and press on the elastic band that way. Same thing on the other side. Just get it as far down the tire as you can until we get to the point where we are no longer able to because the tire's in our way. So right about here, we have the band on everywhere, and now we're actually going to have to roll our tire forward in our case so that we can get it up on the top and get the rest of that band around. Now that we've rolled forward far enough that this bottom lining is able to be stretched over, I'm going to do the same thing. Just get this elastic band all the way around the tire. Need to get a little bit more wiggle room down here from the bottom. Probably going to have a similar process here, just trying to find anywhere that you can get a little bit more slack and move that around. Just try to get it on as evenly as possible around all sides. But like I mentioned, hopefully if you want to get this on multiple tires, which I recommend, you've been doing that the whole time, so you should just be able to right now go over to your driver's side, get that sock loaded up, same as this one, and you should be ready to go. Overall, snow socks like these have started to gain a little bit of popularity in the last few years. So some signage that you'll see if you're out on snowy roads is tire chains required, but that's actually started to change. You'll see something more like traction devices required or tire traction devices required. So those are starting to factor in the use of these snow socks. So kind of what I mentioned in the video overall is that they are less invasive, so we get a lot of clearance here from the back. They're less noisy, less bumpy than snow tire chains, but in that same aspect, if you do live in an area where you get more moderate snow and some heavier ice and you want something like a snow tire chain, you could definitely check out plenty of those. We have all kinds of videos and product pages here at eTrailer for those snow tire chains. But if you want to try an alternative that still gets you really good traction, machine washable, so if they get dirty, you just clean them up, put them right back on. They'll store really easy in your car. These are going to be a great option for you. This again was just a look at the Isse Classic Snow Socks and how they fit on our 2022 Ford Edge.